Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to tell you a story about last year. Um, it's kind of a hard story to talk about, but hell, I'll tell it anyways because hell, you guys need to know about this type of stuff because it could happen to you. I'm not proud of half the things I did, but I did them. So, fuck you if you judge. But, so, around my birthday, which is it's in August, end of August, I ended up dating this guy who lived in Illinois. Well, he lived like right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. So, I went on, saw him, and I'd see him. I stayed over at his house for 1 week, and then I went home, and then I came back like 3 days later and stayed another whole week. And, um, we didn't end up working out because he cheated on me, or he was trying to cheat on me. So, that's what was going on. And, so what ended up happening was um, my grandma had gotten pissed off because she found out that I got arrested and she went through my mail and me and her got into it and I was supposed to go to a therapy meeting and I just was like I asked her one morning because the night before when me and my ex had gotten into a fight and he had ended up getting stabbed, which ended up happening because I saw the stab wound when I went and saw him. But what ended up happening was she got so pissed off at me that she like I asked her because I was supposed to go see my other grandparents for like lunch, and I asked her I was like, so I was wondering when is my therapist appointment. She's like, oh well, let me go check. And she ended up calling the place and telling them the time. And like she comes back in the house and she's like, "Oh, well, it's today at this time." I'm like, "I told you 2 days ago I was going to have dinner and lunch with my other grandparents today at that time. Why would you do that?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I thought you wanted it today." I'm like, "No, I was asking when it was." And so she basically just, did that and I yelled. Me and her got into an argument and she's like, "Well, you can ask your other grandparents a place to stay because you're not going to live here anymore." And I thought, "Okay, you know what? She's just mad." So I just packed a couple things away like making her believe I was going to leave. I left for maybe 2 hours. I was gone for about 2 hours, and everything. I tried getting into the garage. My garage door wasn't working. It wasn't working. And I'm like, so I go to the back door, and I'm like, what's going on with the garage door? It's not working. And she's like, well, none of your things are in the house anymore, so everything's packed up in the garage waiting for you to pick it up. What? So I go to the garage, and yep, sure as shit, everything's in there. Everything. It pissed me off. So I grabbed everything, like all the things I could, and went to my ex's house. And I'm like, look, I was like, well, I don't have any money. I don't have any gas in my car. How am I gonna leave? 20 bucks. Put 20 bucks in my car. Went up to my mom and got money from her. She gave me $16, and I was like, Mom, I need a place to stay. You can't stay here. I'm your daughter, and you can't even let me stay at your house. I need a place to stay, and you're not gonna let me stay in your house, and you're gonna give me $16 and then let me go. Great. Okay. So I filled my car up more, and ended up getting a good enough amount of gas to go to my ex's house who lived on the border. So I go there, and I'm like, dude, I need a place to stay. My grandma just kicked me out. What am I gonna do? And he was like, well, my sister doesn't really like you, so you can't stay here. you told me like a week ago you were gonna work out getting me a job here. I pay rent. I do something to stay here. Sorry, you can't stay here. So I'm like, so I drove like 2 hours to come here. No. He's like, well, you could have called. I'm like, I had no way to contact you. How am I gonna contact you? So he ends up, so I drove back to Milwaukee. Drove to Milwaukee, and my bros gave me some money, you know. They're like, oh, well, I'll pay for gas. You don't worry about that. So they paid for gas and cigarettes and stuff. So I was set. So we're all driving around and stuff, and oh my god, it got so bad. Like, I was homeless for about 2 weeks, about equivalent of 2 weeks. Um, After that night with the guys, I ended up staying over at my girl's house like 2 nights. I could only stay 2 nights, so I stayed at her house, and you know, and I had too much pride to call my aunt up. So, um, the one night I stayed at my girl's house. The next day, I went on a website. Not the smartest thing to do, but I went on there and I'm like talking to people. I'm like, oh, I need money. Anybody want to give me money? Guy in Illinois. I'll pay you so much if you come down here. Meet me at this place. So I go down there, and I was on E, almost on E. Still made it to where we were gonna meet. Nothing. Never showed up. I'm like, great. So I'm stuck down here. Thank you for making me being stuck. Thanks. So I'm stuck in Illinois, little shitty town. I pull into a gas station and I had a debit card and I'm like trying to swipe it through. I'm like, is it working? Is it working yet? Is it working yet? Guy's like, no. I'm like, try now. Is it working? I even went to the credit machine to make it work and it was like an error. I was like, shit. So I'm like, is there any way I could come back and give you an IOU? I just need money. I just don't have it, I guess, and my credit card's not working. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. We don't do that since you're out of town. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, fuck. So, I ended up sitting in the parking lot for about 3 hours. And anybody that pulled in, I'm like, like a teenager came in, and I'm like, hey, I really don't mean to I don't really mean to bug you, but do you have like 20 bucks, like $5, anything? Do you have any change, anything? And he's like, I have $1. He gave me $1. I'm like, thank you so much. Oh, you're grateful. Thank you so much. Put the dollar away. I did that to at least 30 people that came in and out of that gas station. The last guy was an asshole. Asshole. I go up to him like, hello, sir, and he's like, ¿Qué? Hola? And I'm like, hola, ¿cómo está? You know, I'm trying to speak Spanish, and he's like, ¿Qué? And I'm like, me, money, peso. I'm just like trying to speak Spanish to him. Like, I don't know too much Spanish, but I was trying to think, you know, like money, okay. And he's like, here's $5. Don't use it on drugs. You just, so you just basically made me suffer to get $5. You know, it was nothing much, but it was enough to get me, you know, a little bit home. So I'm asking the guy how to get home because I don't want to take any tolls. So I end up going start taking this freeway home, little back highway that I thought I remember taking, and fuck, that just fucked my life over. Like, um, sorry, thinking I'm hearing stuff, but so I ended up almost losing all my gas that I just earned. So I go up to this. So I go up to another gas station, kind of popular. I'm like, hey, do you have any gas? Is there any money? Nobody had money. Like everybody I asked didn't have money. I went up to a taxi driver and I'm like, it's do you have any money I could maybe get? I live in Milwaukee and I don't have any money to get back. My gas just got off take it just was gone. And he's like, sorry, I don't have anything, hon. I'm like, fuck. So I started driving again. I'm driving on this little freeway and my car is starting to break down. Like it's like legit dying. So I ended up taking a wrong way into oncoming traffic just to get to a hotel. And I get to, fuck, I got to one hotel, and I asked the guy, I'm telling him, I'm like, look, I have no money. Is there any way you could get me gas money? Pulled out 20. Here you go. I'm like, thank you so much. Where's the clearest? Where's the the next gas station? He's like, oh, there's one a mile up. Do you have enough gas to get there? I'm like, yeah, I should have enough, just enough. So I get there, it's closed. Fuck. So I see another hotel like another half mile up. So I push my car. I legit pushed my car just to get there. And I pulled out right outside the door and it died. I was like, oh my god, at least I'm at least here. So I turned off the car and just went into the guy and he's like, hi, what's going on? And I'm like, my car broke down and I live in Milwaukee and I don't have any gas to get home. So he pulls out like $5 out of his pocket and he's like, I'll call you a taxi and you have a gas tank in your car. And I'm like, yeah, I have a 2.5 gallon one that can get me home. And he's like, all right, I'll call you a taxi and we'll talk to the taxi driver about this. So I go and there's the taxi driver I was with. It was the taxi driver I met at the gas station. He's like, I just saw you, didn't I? And I'm like, yeah, you just saw me. And he's like, alright, come. So we got my, fuck. So we get, he gives me gas money or he gave me, like, a free ride to the gas station. So, did that. And then me and him start talking and he starts flirting with me. He's like, if you weren't this cute, I wouldn't be doing this for free. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. Pulling my little flirt on. And yeah, got me home at least. And I said I was grateful for those people. So thank you if you ever watch this. Thank you. Um, but yeah, that is. I basically slept around just to get money, just to sleep in a bed. I legit met up with random people just to sleep in a bed. And as messed up as that sounds, it's the truth. Homeless being homeless sucks. Having a car, being homeless is a little bit better. I mean, I met a lot of cops when I was homeless. I'd sleep in I slept in Sheridan Park, which is a park that I used to sleep in, and slept there twice. Third night I sleep there, cop comes, pulls up, and I'm like, I just passed out. And when I'm usually asleep, you cannot wake me up. But he knocks on my window, and I'm like, oh fuck, 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 what? And I'm just like, what? And he's like, what's going on? And I have my pillow and my blanket in my car. And he's like, are you homeless? And I'm like, oh no, me and my boyfriend got in a fight, and I was just sitting here and I was crying and I don't know. And he's like, can I see some ID? And I'm like, so I show him my ID and I'm like, he's like, so do you have a place to stay tonight? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, it's okay. I'll just go to my boyfriend's house. It should be over with now. That came in handy. Having a makeup boyfriend really works. I got caught in another, I got caught in a parking lot that I was supposed to be in. And I got pulled over in a hotel parking lot. So yeah, I've had a fucked up life. But yeah, so that's my homeless story. So I just wanted to let you know that being homeless sucks, and that is if you are a girl and you're pretty, that's maybe what you have to do to survive.